Spec Ops The Line or COD? Alright, let's play this bad boy.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
I'm World, and welcome to my game review for Spec Ops The Line. The game is a third-person shooter developed by 2K Games, the same people behind Bioshock, Bioshock 2 and Bioshock Infinite. It was released last year in 2012. It was released for the Xbox 360, PC and PlayStation 3. Of course, I own Xbox 360, so I've been playing the Xbox version. I don't know if there's major differences between the PC and PlayStation 3. My guess is mainly just resolution. I think it's going to look generally quite better on the PC in terms of resolution, in terms of higher quality picture and graphics. And as far as I know, there's no major difference. The game follows Captain Walker, a special force soldier that is sent into Dubai on a recoverment mission, but the situation gets worse when Colonel John stands in their way of their mission. It's a very brief outline of the actual story. I do not want to give away any of the spoilers. The game relies heavily on you not knowing much. It's one of those games that wants you to embrace the experience of the gameplay, wants you to play it from start to finish and just experience the storyline and experience what this game has to offer. And that's why I said when I do this review, I did not want to give away any major spoilers. I want you to play it and experience it and enjoy it like I have. Now the story is based upon a book called The Heart of Darkness. Now I have to say it is one of the best third-person shooter games experiences I've had in a long time, to be perfectly honest. It's probably one of the best stories that I've had, the most dramatic and most dark journey-taking stories that I've played in a very long time. I mean, most games that I've got, I quite like, really depth stories, like a history, like a background of these characters. That's why I love open world games so much. Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, these type of games. They really have such strong stories, and you can, read the books and stuff. And within this game, it's just something very different than other third-person shooters does, or first-person shooters, to be perfectly honest. It's basically saying F you to Call of Duty games, because those type of games are basically just follow your orders to the letter, very patriotic, some of those games are, and it's very basically saying soldiers are awesome, come and join the army, this is what you're going to experience, really there's cheesy kind of establishing shots, or those cheesy moments where you just put the last bullet in, or put the last life of the actual person. War and soldiers are not really like that. I can't imagine it can't be. This type of game, Spec Ops The Line, in Dubai, this is the type of game that I see soldiers going through. This is the type of game that I think, holy crap. And it makes you really feel for these characters. The game is heavily reliant on the actual story, and it's one of those stories that you need to pay attention to, and I think as an actual player you will not get everything straight away. I think you need to play a few more times, to be perfectly honest, to get everything. It relies you on doing certain choices. Now it makes you feel like crap doing some of these choices. I mean, bloody hell, it's really shocking, because when a standard kind of shooter game, basically you get an objective, go to this point, you want to do this without question, and you just assume that it's for the greater good, or you just assume it's the right decision because it was made because the game tells you to. Wrong. It gives you certain choices in certain situations, and either way you go, it can be good, it can be bad, and to be honest, it gets really dark and psychological, especially within some parts of the actual game, and it really makes you think like, whoa, what the heck did I just do? And it makes you think about third-person shooting. It makes you think about actual soldiers going into wars. And it's one of those games that basically takes you on a journey from start to finish, and it just gets darker and darker and darker as it goes along, and it just lots of twists and turns seem to appear here and there, and you just feel like, whoa, what was that? And then when you reveal to the actual twist what you've been doing for the past 10-12 hours of gameplay leading up to that twist, and it's like, what the heck did I just play? And it's something that I think players need to play at least more than once. I need to play it again just to kind of like think about certain things. because it doesn't tell everything straight away. There's bits where you're going to be lost, or you think to yourself, wait a minute, if that means that, then surely that means this kind of thing, and you just start to question everything. I really like that, connect with the characters. I like actual shooter games that does that, not many do it, I'm perfectly honest, and it's a real shame. I don't have many shooter games, I play I've played a couple of the COD games, they're okay. I played Bad Company, Bad Company 2, and they're quite similar in some respect. This game makes you think about the consequences, makes you think about the decisions you make, and it goes into a really dark story, and you just wow, it is really impressive. The gameplay itself is very fun and action-packed. You get your basic type of weapons, you get your shotguns, you get your pistols, you get your sniper weapons. You don't get anything massively COD in terms of the latest kind of futuristic weapon or kind of upgrades or accessories onto it. It's just very basic weapons. You're going into the bar, you're going to a recovery mission, and you pick up weapons here and there. You will not rely on the same weapons all the time. You have to scavenge, you have to pick up grenades here and there, and just restock and reload, and make sure you just don't run out of any ammo. Because some situations you will be like, crap, I've got no ammo. There's no kind of regenerative health, not really in the actual game. You get killed by at least 3 or 4 bullets. That's on ordinary difficulty. I hate to imagine what hard difficulty will do. I got killed so many times than I care to admit. Mainly because it wants you to think about tactics, it wants you to think about cover, using your accuracy right, using the right weapons. You get 2 other soldiers with you in this little team, and you can actually command them to do little things like take out that sniper, take out that shotgun. They are generally quite good. They actually are not like Resident Evil 5 where the police AI is basically just rubbish and start shooting at you or just start shooting at a war or anything. They actually, if you just you take out that sniper, they actually will get a gun and they will focus on that person, they will take him down. And I think the AI system for the actual companions are actually really effective, they're really useful, and you will rely on them a couple of times. They're more dangerous situations. There's a couple of missions where you've literally got hundreds of enemies and you just have to die, grenade, tack him kind of thing, and it's really good, really edge gripping and exciting. I really like that with some of the gameplay. The atmosphere in the game is absolutely fantastic. The actual graphics, I think personally, were really great. I played on the Xbox 360 and I felt they're fantastic. I really liked the actual Dubai, the landscape of it, like the sand going everywhere, the hot weather. It felt really warm and sticky, and a good atmosphere, a good kind of point of view of these soldiers, what they're doing, and the idea of using sand to your advantage. Also, you can actually shoot glass, and sand will cover them, or you can use sand to blind them for a sec or something. I really like the effect about that, and I think we haven't seen that type of game before, so it's one of the first games to actually use proper sand. The multiplayer itself is actually not too bad. I played it for a couple of basic missions. You standard team deathmatch or just deathmatch or capture the flag type thing. Very basic type of multiplayer. Nothing really hugely amazing. They do have the actual really cool feature which I do really like, is the sandstorm sections where you can play a team deathmatch. You can be shooting enemies and all of a sudden a sandstorm will come in and it will blind your vision a little bit here, or certain people won't see you, or radar will go off completely offline, and it allows you to kind of scout your enemies through the open sandstorms. I really like that. That's something very different and effective. Gives you something a bit different from the standard kind of shooter multiplayers for a change. Well, the game's excellent. I really enjoyed this game. This was a fantastic experience. I really enjoyed playing it. I really liked the decisions in it. I really liked the storyline. The storyline is probably one of the strongest points of the actual game. You will play it from start to finish and you will question everything. You will want to play it again just to see what you've missed. So many great twists and turns of the game you just genuinely will not see coming, and it's something that you probably have not seen within an actual shooter game before. Put down COD for a minute, take a look at Spec Ops The Line. It's something a little different. It's something that you probably really will enjoy and appreciate. So that's been my review on Spec Ops The Line. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. Have you played the game? I'd love to know your opinions. Comment down below. Also, I'm putting a link in the description below for a special video called Spec Ops The Line Explained. It's a very special video that explains the kind of the deeper meanings and goes depth into the actual story and certain plot points within the actual game. Only watch this video once you've actually finished the game. It will give you a bit of an insight and a bit of explanation into what you've just experienced in a sense, and it will give deeper meanings to some of the situations and certain quotes and lines. So keep that in mind. Links below. Go and check that out if you've played the game. Only watch it when you finish the actual game because it will contain spoilers, of course. So until next time, signing out.